What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Fantasy Endgame. We are live with you once again, getting ready for week 9. Wow. All right, here we go. I think we're officially now halfway through the season, or at least the fantasy season, right? We lie somewhere in between 8 and 9. This is where the money is made. You make those smart waiver wire pickups, also trades, because realistically, most leagues have a trade deadline, and most of them are way before the fantasy playoffs. You may have a couple of weeks left, so this is the time to evaluate your team. What do you need, and how can you cooperate with your league mates to make a fair trade for both sides? I mean, that's what it's all about, right? Always. So we're going to help you out. You got questions, we got answers. We're going to do the best we can with the time we have, and we're going to answer as many questions as possible. Questions like, why does Kareem Hunt still have to exist? Like, seriously, why?
Well, not only does he exist, he might exist more than we want now, because it sounds like Pacheco, with that hit he took last night, week to week. So doesn't sound too serious, at least. But Kareem Hunt, I guess this is going to be a yearly thing, right? Whatever team Kareem Hunt is on, just avoid the other running back, because you just know this is what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think he must, when he signs on with the team, he must have a clause where, no other running back will touch the ball inside the 5-yard line other than me. It's just contractual or something. I get it. Pacheco's not really meant to be a goal line back, and maybe there's Rashard Smith or anybody else that they have, but why does he have to score all the touchdowns?
Right.
So Pacheco, you saw that hit. I mean, it looked worse at first than what it was. But yeah, we're not sure. Look, it's not day to day though. It's week to week. I'd be surprised if he plays this week, wouldn't you?
Yeah, usually week to week means gonna miss at least one game, potentially 2 or 3. But at least it's could have been worse.
Yeah, it definitely could have been. What looked worse. I mean, thankfully it wasn't. So. We'll see. I mean, obviously Kareem Hunt could always score. Rashard Smith, though, is someone, I'm going to highlight on the video that comes out in a couple of days. So we'll see exactly how useful he will be. We also do have a quarterback change. This is the time also for the real teams, the NFL teams, to assess what their needs are. I mean, they have a trade deadline coming up soon, but also what they already have. The Saints have decided Spencer Rattler is not the answer. I mean, really? Now, look, they spent a second-round pick on Tyler Shuck, right? I mean, you figure this was happening eventually anyways. So, look, I've seen a lot of people who got way too excited about Tyler Shuck and, think, oh, he's one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class. What are your expectations for Tyler Shuck? Better than Rattler?
I don't know. Maybe not worse, but probably not better. Maybe worse. We'll see.
I mean, is it him? Is it this offense? Do you think any quarterback could really thrive in this offense? It's just not enough weapons there, or do you think Rattler, just hadn't been doing enough for them?
No, I think. Look, we've seen Kellen Moore. We've seen Kellen Moore offenses be great. They have Chris Olave. They have Rashid Shaheed. They have Alvin Kamara. Sure, they don't have, Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson. They have good enough players. This is the quarterbacks, right? These guys just not very good. It's just a fact. And what team could you put Spencer Rattler on and be like, oh, they're gonna, be one of the best teams now? None team.
Well, I mean, yeah, you put Spencer Rattler on probably most any other team, he wouldn't be the starting quarterback. So because he got the opportunity, I get it. Look, he wasn't too bad the first few games starting the season. He wasn't turning the ball over. That's what did him ultimately. The last 2 games he started turning the ball over, and that's it. Got the hook. So the Tyler Shuck era will at least begin. We'll see how long it lasts, but it begins. And then, this is also the time. You hear a lot of noise too. The rookies start to come on, especially rookie wide receivers. You're like, okay, they've gotten acclimated. They've had a little bit of time to learn and grow and whatever. This happens a lot. I mean, it really does. Second half of the season, of course, Travis Hunter. We've both been talking up. Everybody's talking about Travis Hunter. Like, that seems pretty obvious. I mean, this guy was top draft picks out of any position. But do you feel like this is a wide receiver group, like as a class as a whole? Do you think there are a lot of guys who are going to start to really step forward? You know, anybody specifically you think is like, we've been sleeping on him. Like, nobody's really talking him up, but maybe he does at least take a step forward, or maybe somebody who's been good now becomes great, you know, like a Ted McMillan or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not getting good feelings about any of these wide receivers. Like, I think Ted will probably continue to be what he is, but he's stuck in this Panthers offense. Like, what's going to, ignite him for the second half of the season here? I mean, obviously, I think if anybody has a chance, it's Travis Hunter, because he, say what you want about Trevor Lawrence, he's better than Bryce Young or Andy Dalton. And he is,
True.
He's in this Liam Cohen offense. He's probably the one. Even like Matthew Golden, it feels like trending the wrong way with Christian Watson back. And don't forget, Jaden Reed is going to be back probably sometime soon, like within the next month. So it's just going to get even more frustrating there. Luther Burden, like, is he really going to? I mean, he still hasn't even really supplanted Olamide Zaccheaus yet. So I don't know. I think we might just look back at this class, at least after year one, and be like, they were a little underwhelming, especially compared to like last year's class.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure there's no way they're beating last year's class. Agree. I mean, what we've seen is a couple of guys take a step from being irrelevant to somewhat relevant, like Jameer DK in Tennessee, Jalen Noel in Houston, right? Those guys now are on the flex radar, whereas they were basically worthless the first few weeks of the season. So, but yeah, that doesn't, it's not the same. Doesn't equate to a guy like Brian Thomas Jr. last year, who went from being pretty good to all of a sudden down the stretch being dominant. You know what I mean? Like, are we going to get that for anybody? Like, maybe Ted McMillan, but we'll see. I mean, I don't know. They don't have Mac Jones over there. So, we do have some questions. Of course, we're going to answer your questions. So, things change on a daily basis in the NFL. You know this. That's why we go live almost every day for you. And we're going to answer your questions. And there's other ways that you can ask your questions. But before I talk about that, don't forget, there's going to be NFL action in just 48 hours. Yep, Thursday night is going to be the Ravens and the Dolphins. So right now is a good time to take advantage of the free pick that you get on Underdog. It's Devon Achane just getting a yard. That's a good one. I like that they didn't trust Tua to even get a yard necessarily, despite last week. No, I don't know. They just wanted to make it more obvious. Devon Achane, go. You get this free pick. It's a gimme. If you're a new customer on Underdog and you sign up for the first time and use code ENDGAME, and when you sign up for the first time using code ENDGAME, you get the free pick. Plus, you can get as much as $1,000 of bonus cash in your account just for signing up, and they'll match half of your initial deposit if you use code ENDGAME. And along with the free pick, you also still, for a limited time, you're going to get an extra $100 in bonus funds added to your account as soon as you play $5 towards any pick. All right, so free pick, free money. And sadly, we only have a couple days left of Boosttober. But look, before it ends, take the unlimited profit boost, 30%, but not just 30%. I've seen 40%, 50% sometimes. There's so many profit boosts going on. Get your boost in. So if you haven't tried Underdog, again, try to do it before Boosttober ends, so you get all the free stuff plus the profit boosts. All right, now besides the questions, go ahead. Oh, you're unmuted, by the way.
That's right. They had a NBA boost today, and I'll be honest, I don't really follow NBA that closely anymore. I certainly don't know the players that well. I was like, let me try it. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm sure it will lose.
I tried NBA, I think for opening day, it was last week, right? To Monday, Tuesday, one of those days. And I was like, let me try it. So I did 3, I was like, these seem good. missed all 3. I didn't even hit one. So I'm like, okay, I'll maybe stick to football, stick with what I know and research every single day.
Yeah, we'll see we'll see. I was like, 30% profit boost. Let me give it a try. I think I just did like $15 on it, like some small one. Like, let's see. If I win, it's like $100. If I lose, oh well, $15.
Yeah.
I'm expecting to lose. I don't know.
I did. Well, we talked about this last night. I really should have won. I took the sucker bet. I nailed 2 of my picks. The one I didn't get was the guy who only needed 1 yard. Seriously, higher than 0.5 total yards. The problem is it was Tyquan Thornton, and he did not get a single catch or even a target, I don't think. In fact, I don't even know if he got a snap. I haven't checked, but it doesn't matter.
Probably not. That's the thing. With Rashee Rice back, it's like, oh, yeah, we don't need you anymore. So
looks too good to be true. It probably is, and it was. I could have picked anybody else, but now I know. Just take the higher on Kareem Hunt touchdowns just every week.
I know. Just Kareem Hunt anytime touchdown. Done.
Anytime.
Done.
All right. So besides Underdog, also, by the way, we got questions we're going to answer on DraftLane. And so if you haven't tried that, DraftLane is our app we use to answer your questions any time of the day. And it is also not only a free download, but also, for the time being, you can use code ENDGAME just like you would on Underdog. Use code ENDGAME on the DraftLane app. Go right here to the settings, and you put it in the promo code section. And you get 10 free points. Just hit apply. I've already used mine. So you just go here, and look, we just got one. Got another question. All right, so you can ask your start set, your waiver wire trade, rate my team, just generic question, anything you want, just like you would on here. So let's do it with the waiver wire one. This one just popped up. So we'll show you what it looks like. Now, if you're on Yahoo or Sleeper, here's the cool thing. We can look at the roster and see who's on waivers. This team doesn't seem to need a whole lot of help.
No.
I do see Keon Coleman.
Well, they need a quarter. They do need a quarterback this week because Hurts is on bye.
Okay, so we need a quarterback. We don't need anything else, but we can clearly cut Coleman here. Anybody else you're okay cutting?
I mean, I'm okay cutting Jacoby Myers or Jameson Williams if there's somebody worth picking up.
Well, let's see who's worth picking up. So we can also go to the waivers. Here are the waivers. Yeah, these guys are. Oh, Tyron Tracy.
I think Tyron Tracy has to be picked up. I would be fine dropping Jacoby or Jameson Williams for him. Obviously, this team definitely needs a quarterback as well. So,
or Kyler probably coming back. Purdy, I wouldn't risk it.
No, I think Kyler's probably the number one choice here.
Tua Thursday night.
Yeah, I think T-Law would probably be my second choice out of this group. No, not quite.
Yeah, like Tua feels sort of like a trap, right? Too good to be true, like Stafford the other day against the Ravens. Like,
coming off a 4-touchdown game, short week. Yeah,
and Kyler against the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're picking up Tracy and Murray. We're going to drop Coleman and JMO.
I mean, probably Jacoby, right? I don't know. I like either one. Doesn't even matter.
Well,
both terrible. Is this team ever going to play them?
Well, the only reason I would say maybe Jacoby is like, what if he gets traded?
Yeah, and look, I kind of had that in some of my draft lane leagues today when I was. What happened? When I was looking around or doing my waivers, it's like I had some Jameson, Jacoby teams where I wanted to pick some guys up, and I just dropped Jameson. I'm like, I don't care at this point. Like,
yeah,
even if he has a nice game this week, next week he's going to get 0 again.
True, it's true.
So let somebody pick him up after he has a good game this week and put the 0 in their lineup next week.
All right, so let's say Kyler quarterback, Tracy Jr. must add. You can drop JMO or Jacoby if you prefer. you go. And again, that's the cool thing with Draft Lane is that you can do those questions. We just got another one. Thank you. Appreciate that. Another start sit question. We'll come back to this later after we do some more of the questions here, though. You can do this anytime, and we can check out your roster. It's a little easier than having to type it all out in the chat. But we do love chatting with the chat, so let's do that.
Let's do it.
Michael, what's up? Has Kyron Achane and Chase Brown. Would you pick up their backups, or there's that man, Kareem Hunt, I think Isaiah Davis, or Kayshon Boutte?
I mean, I don't know if Achane really has a backup right now. I guess Ollie Gordon. I guess if something happened to Achane, I'd probably prefer Ollie Gordon. But like the thing about Achane, like Ollie Gordon and or Jalen Wright are not direct replacements for Devon Achane, because Devon Achane does something those guys can't do, and that's literally like play wide receiver as well as running back. Like they literally line them up like in the slot, out wide, have them run routes. Like the Ollie Gordon and Jalen Wright can't do that. So I don't even know. Like, I don't feel like Ollie Gordon or Wright are going to replace Achane. I think it's okay to pick up Corum if you want, if you got Kyron, because I feel very confident that if Kyron goes down, it's going to be all Blake Corum, and he'll be good enough in that offense. Pirine, I mean, I guess if you have room, I guess he's okay to pick up, but I don't love it. As far as the other guys, Davis, no. I don't even know if they, again, even if James Cook goes down, is Ray Davis, or is it just going to be like him and Ty Johnson, like splitting carries? And you know what I mean? And like, even now, Ray Davis doesn't get a lot of run. Even right now, he doesn't get a lot of run until it's like the end of the game and they're blowing him out. So I don't know. I think Corum's okay. I think Pirine is okay if you want to. If you need a wide receiver, I think Boutte's worth picking up.
Yeah, he seems to have weekly flex upside. Agree. I mean, everything. Look, if Achane happens to go down, I just don't want anything to do with the Dolphins offense. They will just implode, right? Pirine is like, I'm not buying too much into last week. Corum, I think, is the only one I would actually want. Hunt, of course, will score touchdowns, and Boutte could too. All right, so Joe needs some help with these waiver wire options. Godwin, who, I mean, they're on bye. He's been out. I wonder if you think he's worth stashing even at this point. Now, I do believe this is AJ Brown, which indicates me that somebody dropped AJ Brown.
I mean, do we really need to prioritize these pickups? I mean, there's one guy who's like, you have to do whatever you can get to do. You have to do whatever you can do to get AJ Brown on your team. You have to blow all your fab. I mean, if it's waiver priority and you're not number one, oh well, you're not going to get AJ Brown, which is, annoying. Which is why AJ Brown, like the commissioner should reverse that. Like AJ Brown should not be dropped to the waiver wire. The commissioner should absolutely reverse that. Etienne's got to be number 2, I think. Monty number 3. Probably Henderson 4.
Honestly, there's one guy who needs to be dropped from your league. It's the owner, because he says someone dropped these first 4. It was the same guy, same owner who dropped all of those guys. He needs to probably be dropped from the league, because honestly, not only they're like, he doesn't know what he's doing, that makes it unfair for everyone else, right? Now everyone just gets these players for free,
right?
Like it's destroying the competitive balance. Honestly, it's ridiculous. Look, maybe he's a noob, who knows? But it's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. This is where the commissioner has to step in and put him back. Say, no, I'm putting them back on the team.
Yeah. All right, Cody. Watch the buy low video. Good move. He says got Bucky or Genty to trade for Igbuka. So I guess that's like his bait.
Yeah. I'm okay with either one. You got Judkins, Breeze, Saquon, Chuba. Yeah, you're fine. You'll be fine trading away one of these guys. I don't know. I honestly, I think between the two, I would prefer to trade away Genty. Honestly,
Really?
he's got a terrible schedule. He's in a terrible offense behind a terrible offensive line. Like the only thing Genty really has going for him, honestly, is talent. Which, okay, yeah, I guess he's talented. I mean, he hasn't been exceptional this year, but he's been good, and volume. But doesn't Bucky have that too? And he's in a way better offense behind a better offensive line. Like I think Genty honestly is extremely overvalued right
Wow.
now.
I might be too high in Genty, or you're too low on Genty. I'm a little higher. The talent. I mean, look, I totally agree. The offensive line is not good. Obviously, Geno has not been good. I'm just a little more worried about Bucky in terms of health. I mean, I don't know. Is he just ready to go? Next week after the bye? I don't know. And then Rachaad White still splitting carries with him, at the very least, some touches. Genty's got nobody there to challenge him. So I would probably prefer to trade Bucky, but either way, you can do this. I mean, look, you have Saquon and Brees and Judkins. Like, it doesn't make a difference here. Probably not. All right.
Here's the
John.
well, hold on real quick. Here's the Raiders schedule. Okay, Jacksonville this week, that's okay. Denver next week, not great. Okay, then he does get Dallas. Okay. Then the Browns, the Chargers, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Texans. Like, how many of those weeks are you going to really feel good about Ashton Genty? I'm going to go with like 0.
Yeah, well, that is true. I remember before last week, which I guess wouldn't have changed for the Raiders because they were on bye. 24th, I think. 24th in terms of RB schedule rest of season. So
Yeah,
I know
the only good thing is if you get to your championship game with Genty, he gets the Giants. So he'll probably finish strong if you get there with Genty.
Right. Well, either way, that's going to be your call, Cody. John versus just John. Start 2 running backs in the flex. Henry Monty, Javonte Woody, Ramondre, and then 2 receivers.
I'm trying to figure so we have to start 3 of these running backs. We can't start 3 of the wide receivers.
I'm guessing
you got to start Henry and Javonte. You got to start Puka. I think I have Diggs. No, I have Ladd ahead of Diggs still. Although I'm a little nervous for Ladd this week, but I have him ahead of Diggs still. I mean, if you have to flex a running back, it's going to be Monty. But if you can flex anybody that we didn't name yet, it's going to be Diggs.
Yeah, I would assume you could flex anybody, but who knows? And then Hunter Henry or TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, just give me Hunter Henry, I guess. At least he scores. How good can we feel about Hawk, especially with McCarthy coming back? We don't even know.
Right. Like, not Henry's done anything great, but yeah, I don't know what we're going to get with McCarthy yet. Just give me Henry. Now we have John Wickering. What's up, John? So with Hurts out, here we go. Looks like a very similar list. Wow. Dak is on waivers. Stafford's on waivers. Darnold, Kyler. A lot of good choices.
Yeah, it's either Dak or Stafford. I don't know. I think if it's me, I'm going Dak. Oh, very, very close there between those two. It's just been so good. I mean, I know he wasn't good last week. That was the Broncos in Denver. This is it. Yeah. Arizona in Dallas at home. A nice comfy dome. I guess Stafford's at home too against the Saints, but I don't know. I think to me, Dak just has more upside. I'm going to go Dak.
I mean, you got a lot of good options here. I identified Stafford. I mean, I didn't assume that Dak Prescott was on waivers in any leagues, many, if any leagues. So, like, I understand Kyler gets to face the Cowboys. I'm not putting him ahead of those guys with super high floors. No. So, Yeah, Dak, it's at home. Cardinals defense isn't scary. Just go Dak. And then he's got another question. Would you trade Rashad White to get Jordan Addison?
I think so. I mean, look, Rashad White is just a handcuff, right? Like, I mean, unless the only way I think you're going to regret this is if coming out of the bye, they're like, yeah, Bucky's still weeks away from being back, which I really doubt. I mean, come on, this guy's going to have missed like, what, 4 or 5 weeks. Because, yeah, Rashad White will get some touches, but we know Bucky's the guy. He's going to get the bulk of the touches. So Rashad White goes to being just a handcuff. Yeah, I'll take Addison for Rashad White, yes.
Yeah, we already know White's not playing this week because of the bye. Might go back to being the 1B or the 2 maybe next week. If not, probably the week after. So take it. Your running backs are good enough. You got Ashton Genty. All right, what about Landon? Wow. Okay, how about this? Buckle up. Trade away London, Tet, Sharbs, and Tez for Ibuka, Nico, and Monagai.
By the way, one of our viewers commented, it's Munnen guy, I believe is the right pronunciation.
Like Monday?
Yeah, like Monday. Munnen guy. Munnen guy. That's going to be weird to say. But anyways.
I heard one of the analysts on the game say Manangai or something like that. I'm like,
it might be Manangai even. Who knows? But anyways, try to get it right. Manangai. Anyways, I think you have to take this deal. I mean, you're getting Ibuka and Nico. Like, look, Tet, maybe he gets going here, but maybe he just stays the same all year because he's stuck in the Panthers offense. Sharbs, like whatever. Tez, come on. You're getting Ibuka and Nico? I think, give me Ibuka and Nico.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, we're looking at the first 2 receivers for the second 2 receivers. What matters, right? Which 2 do you prefer? London, Tet, Ibuka, Nico. I think I gotta go with the Ibuka side as well. It's kind of close. Realistically, it's close. If you think Tet is going to have a huge second half of the season, you might say, well, prefer, but I don't know. I think consistency wise, Ibuka is probably still maybe the top guy here. I just looked it up because I'm curious. Pro Football Reference says it's Manungai.
Manungai. That's going to be okay. Manungai.
Yep. Rhymes with Cobra Kai. All right.
I guess.
Mark Wassman. In my mind, it does. Mark Wassman, howdy. Okay, so for this week, flexing Vidal or J.K. Dobbins, both good choices, but who's better?
I think Vidal is significantly better this week, honestly. This is not a good spot for Dobbins on the road against that Texans defense. That is very, very tough. Chargers on the road against the Titans, not tough at all. I'm going to go Vidal.
Yeah, you can go with Vidal here. Agree with that. What about Cali Kidd? Needs a running back. Chase Brown, Bill, Etienne, or Tracy?
I think it's got to be Chase Brown this week. He's looking better. Gets the Bengals this week. Gets the Bears this week. It'd be nice if he got the Bengals, but he's on the Bengals, unfortunately, so he doesn't ever get to play the Bengals. Yeah, I think it's got to be Chase Brown here. Too good of a matchup.
Yeah, Chase Brown. It is still. Again, I'm not worried about Samaje Perine. Chase Brown is still the lead guy there. And then he also needs a streaming quarterback between these choices. I think I would just go Darnold and be happy.
Yeah, I think so. Darnold, he's been mostly good this year. Not scared of the Commanders at all. Let's go Darnold.
All right, here's I think a layup Juice is in house. Is QJ playable?
Barely. Like if you're telling me your other option is, I don't know, who's somebody really bad? Like your other option is Nick Westbrook Akine? Yeah, I'd probably play QJ.
All right. I mean, look, maybe all of a sudden scores again, or maybe he gets a target first. But you can't assume, right? You got to go. You got to go with the numbers.
Yeah, and this isn't even a good matchup. I talk about it in the wide receiver video that comes out in the morning. The Panthers play a lot of zone, very zone heavy team. He's much better against man than zone. So, yeah, it's not even a good schematic matchup for him.
True. Yeah. Even if Justin Herbert did like him, he was still, it's not a great spot for him. Shirley View, brutal week, lost Scadaboo. Now, Judkins, I mean, he's not going to, they're on bye anyways, and he should be back. That doesn't seem like anything major, so I wouldn't worry about that. But the question here is about receivers. Trade Dobbs for Harrison.
Yeah, Scadaboo. I was going through my draft lane leagues today doing waivers, and so many. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I had Scadaboo on like half my teams. I had to drop him off so many teams. It was so painful. So painful. I think Scadaboo might have been my highest drafted player on Underdog too. Actually, brutal.
He probably was
brutal,
which was great for 8 weeks.
Yeah, you have to trade Dobbs for Harrison. I mean, I don't know how this helps you when losing 2 running backs, but you have to trade Dobbs for Harrison. Like, look, Harrison may not be great rest of the season, but I'm gonna take a chance that he's significantly better than Dobbs.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely want Harrison. And this week it'll help you having Harrison because he gets to play the Cowboys. So it's definitely a good time to do that. It doesn't solve your problem specifically, but again, I think just venting, just like it was a rough week. It was a rough week for all Scadaboo owners, unfortunately. All right, Moises, also a Judkins owner. Desperate. It's never good. Okay, I see past tense here. Oh boy.
Traded away Chase.
Well, hold on. It wasn't just Genty. Don't panic. It's more. It's more than just Genty. I was like, no. Okay. Jamar Chase and Sutton for Genty, Ladd, and Flowers. Still don't like it.
No, like, okay, why are you desperate on running back? You have Judkins. He's on bye. Guess what? Every player goes on bye. Every player gets a bye week. Like, there's no need. I even talked about this on the buy low when I talked about Igbuka. I'm like, this is a thing. Like, people cannot handle their players being on bye for one. It's like, he's on a bye. Like,
it's true.
Like, I get it if if it was Scadaboo, because you're like, he's gone for the season. But Judkins, they said day to day. Day to day means probably going to be playing as soon as the bye is over. Like, oh man. I mean, look, you got Genty. Again, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Genty's going to end up being a massive bust this year for where he was drafted in fantasy. I just do. The situation's terrible. The schedule's terrible. Like how can you succeed in that offense? How?
Well, I think might be again different situation, but I think he might be kind of like the Marvin Harrison of this year, where everyone's like, oh, he should be first rounder, right? And he was like barely almost first rounder, and he ends up with like okay, but not great numbers. So he'll be disappointing. He won't be a bust, like, because it was like not a bad year, but he definitely wouldn't be for like worth a first round pick.
Okay, that's probably more fair.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be horrible, but anyways, I mean, look, not ideal to trade away Chase, but
exactly. I mean, you're literally like Chase to me now is on Jonathan Taylor, Christian McCaffrey, Bijan Robinson, Puka Nacua, and now Jamar Chase are like on my cannot trade list, because these guys are almost the equivalent of like 2 players by themselves. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, yeah, you're like, I just traded away Chase, but it's like Chase scores, what Ladd and Flowers get combined on a lot of weeks. You know what I mean? Like, just by himself. Like, yeah, I don't, and it's never good to make a trade when you're desperate, because you're almost always, but you got Genty, you got Ladd, you got Flowers. It's not horrible. I just not feel good trading away Chase right now.
Right. No, it's not you didn't get fleeced or anything like that. And, it's just, like you say, you don't want to trade out of desperation. But anyways, all right. Please rank waivers here. Got Kareem Hunt, Tracy, Spears, Franklin, Watson. RB2 is Rico and Knight. I mean, look, like Rico is startable as an RB2, right? That's not that bad.
Yeah, see, I would have been, anyways, okay, we talked enough about that. I think Tracy has to be number one. And this is the thing, you have like running backs on the waiver wire you can pick up that are serviceable. Like, you didn't need to do this trade. But anyways, Tracy's got to be number one because he's going to be the RB1 there rest of the season as long as he stays healthy. I'm still going to say Spears number two. I think, like, I saw a quote from the OC today that they're pleased with Spears. It would not be surprising to me if Spears is like getting 60% of the touches pretty soon here. And Tony Pollard is just like a change of pace guy. Like, Spears has just been better. And then I don't know. I probably have to put but do you need wide receiver help now? You just traded for 2 wide receivers, although you traded 2 wide receivers away, so maybe you still do. I don't know. I guess Franklin would probably be number 3 for me. So Tracy, Spears, Franklin in that order.
Yeah, Tracy should be number 1. That's for sure. All right, then we says needs a tight end for this week. Juwan Johnson, Ingram, Theo, Loveland, Pat, Muth, or Fant.
I'm going to go Ingram here. He's not super exciting, but he's solid. And I will say one thing. If there's a selling point on Ingram, it's that the Texans, they play a ton of zone, and he's actually better against zone than man. So Ingram doesn't get me excited, but none of these guys really get me excited. So I'll just roll with Ingram and take what I get.
Yeah, out of this group, Ingram is fine. And then he also realized that Aaron Jones was dropped in a 10-teamer. I don't know. Would you put him before Tracy?
No. Tracy's still number 1. Tracy's the RB1 again for the rest of the season for the Giants. He's number 1.
Right. Alexis Aguilar. Are we flexing Bateman, Sharbs, or Booty?
Bateman. Not Bateman, that's for sure. I've got Booty a little above Sharbs, so I'm gonna go Booty.
Yeah. This is a bye week thing. It's no problem. How do we feel about Nico returning this week? It's a good chance. Should be.
Yeah. Usually concussions, they only miss a week. It didn't sound like super serious or anything. So yeah.
All right, and then Cali Kid again needs one. If JD doesn't play, Stroud, Darnold, Rogers, Dart. I think I'd probably go Darnold here too.
Yeah, it's gonna go Darnold.
Zachary Mudd, what's up? If Nico doesn't play, you got Pickens and which 2 wide receivers? Franklin, Downs, Mooney, Slayton.
I'd probably just go Downs and Franklin. I don't love Franklin this week. This is a significantly tougher matchup on the road against the Texans. But I mean, how good could we feel about Mooney after last week? I don't know. Yeah. I mean, if you could pick up Slayton, I might even play Slayton this week, but over Franklin.
Yeah, probably Slayton. And I was thinking, well, look, if Nico doesn't play, I mean, you could go like Xavier Hutchinson or Jalen Noel. They don't have a good matchup either. They play the Broncos. I think Nico will play, but yeah, I think Slayton. What about Downs? Downs it's okay.
Yeah.
Who the Colts play? Colts don't have a tough matchup, do they? Steelers? I'll go Downs.
Not tough at all. No.
Chris Cady. 2 big trades. Okay, I see it. It is. Traded Rice, AJB, and Gibbs
Wow.
for Puka, Tracy, and Hampton.
I don't know about this. Oh man, what's going on?
I think I like the first side better.
I mean, look. Yeah, I mean, look, you're getting Puka, so that's great. But I mean, look, Rice has been awesome the 2 games he's played. Gibbs is awesome. AJB is still good. Tracy, Hampton. I know you have Vidal, but first, I'm worried about 2 things for Hampton. Number one, he might not even be ready to come back as soon as he can. And number 2, Vidal has been good. So these guys might cap each other's upside a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry, Chris. I definitely preferred the Rice AJB Gibbs side
here. Yeah, I think so. We'll see how it turns out, though. Then today, traded Terry and Rico for Nico.
That one I'm okay with here. I mean, Terry re-injured the quad. I mean, we don't even know. They haven't said anything yet. No update. I mean, geez, terrible. Dowdle, looks like he's gonna be the guy now, but even still, I like this one definitely. Take a chance on Nico for sure.
Yeah, that one's fine. I definitely like this one. Picked up Trey Benson for free. Smart move.
Yeah, definitely. Right. Good time.
So here's the squad. You're more deep than you're definitely not stacked at running back. Would really love to have Gibbs there, but you're good at receiver.
Yeah.
So hope Hampton comes back strong. AV for 3 needs a QB. Stafford, Love, Purdy, or Kyler.
I think out of this group, you got to go Stafford.
Yeah, like Stafford. Jameer, he's the one. Jameer DK dominates as a return man, and now he's actually catching passes too. It's like bonus. Dion. How do we feel about JD against the Seahawks if he plays this week?
I mean, I think if JD plays, I'm playing him. JD plays, I'm playing him.
Yeah, it's not a smash spot. I mean, a lot of it also has to depend on Terry, right? If Terry plays or doesn't play, that kind of matters. But JD is still, don't overthink it. Picked up Goff. Would you play Goff instead?
I don't think so. Even if Terry's out, I don't think so. I mean, Goff hasn't been lighting it up, and it's not like the Vikings are a smash matchup here.
Right. That's the thing. We talked about this in the start set. Not a smash spot necessarily, but also this just might not be a game where Goff needs to throw a ton. Minnesota better against the pass than the run anyways. So, just if JD plays, play GD. All right. Actually, sorry. Let's do Dion's other question first. Non-PPR, would you drop Chuba for Tyron Tracy?
Yeah, I would do this.
Yeah.
I would definitely do this. Definitely.
Legend, how to improve this 14-teamer. Got Jones and Murray. Burrow, you have Burrow still? Joe Burrow, just in case?
Just in case.
I mean, if you got an IR spot, I guess. CMC Henry is nice. Pittman, Rice, Olave, Hunter, Johnson, Ayuk, Mooney, Kittle, Pitts.
I mean, I do think this is a good time to try to trade away Etienne.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you can. I mean, if you can package like Etienne and maybe QJ, I don't know. I mean, because I don't really want to trade away Pittman, Rice, Olave, or Hunter. I mean, but is anybody taking QJ right now? Or maybe even like Etienne. I mean, is anybody taking Kyle Pitts right now? Like, not really, right? I don't know. I might try to package Etienne and QJ and maybe, I mean, you're not going to get a massive upgrade, but maybe you can get a Chase Brown. Maybe you can get a Swift. Although I don't like Swift's playoff schedule, I will say that. Like, I don't mind Jalen Warren. I talked about Jalen Warren on the buy low. He's still the guy there, and he has a fantastic schedule. a lot of good matchups for him. So, but I mean, nothing jumps out at me here. Like you got CMC Henry, you got Pittman Rice, Olave Hunter, you got good enough QBs, even without Burrow. You got good tight ends. Like nothing really jumps out. I don't feel like you have to do anything here.
Yeah, generally speaking, I don't see like any holes in this roster. I mean, I think you're good. You don't have to mess with it too much. All right. What about this? B dot. Can you drop DJ Moore or Ricky Pearsall to get Tracy?
Yeah.
Which one?
I mean, I guess at this point I'd drop Ricky Pearsall. At least DJ Moore's on the field. At least DJ Moore's playing.
This is true. This is a fact. I don't know. Look, that one play where, I don't know, it was a busted coverage or something, and DJ Moore got loose and got like a 40-yard catch or something. I'm not buying into it. I don't know. He's just been disappointing to me. At least I got some hope with Ricky Pearsall. I would just drop DJ.
I guess it's like the thing, like it's like you always have that hope that, you know, this is the week he plays and does what we expect him to do. Where it's like with DJ Moore, there's no hope. So
exactly, all hope has already been eradicated. It's gone. It's like those people who draft Josh Gordon every year, year after year after year. It's like, God, he won't be suspended this season. Money Mitch, you're welcome as always. Will Nico be okay? If he plays, he should be.
Yeah, not having Pat Surtain is a big boost for him. So, but I think how good. I mean, look, it's kind of crazy. Like, how was it last week with no Nico? It's like they're able to throw the ball. Like, did they just run? Like, did they run a totally different offense because Nico was out? Like, what? I don't know, but yeah, Nico should be okay without Surtain.
Yeah, what's interesting, because I was digging into this for the other video, and one of those shocking stats, over the last 4 weeks, weeks 5 through 8, the Texans are third in terms of wide receiver usage. And that's surprising, but also it's a big shift for them. You know, they're throwing it to the wideouts because, I don't know, I guess what they were doing early in the season was not working. Anyways. Nico should be fine. He should be fine. Dowdle versus Walker.
Oh, just give me Dowdle. Just give me Dowdle.
And who could I try and trade? Wandale and I think Aaron Jones Sr. Or not a lot.
You could maybe get. I don't know. Ramondre?
Yeah. I mean, I assume we're talking about a player that you want to actually be able to start.
Well, I mean, like, are you going to get anybody better than Wandale Robinson for Wandale Robinson and Aaron Jones? I don't think so. Like, I mean, really? Like, really?
It would have to be some sort of a buy low.
I mean, unless you like are willing to buy low on Ricky Pearsall.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. You could get Ricky Pearsall. At least you'll have
might not help you ever this year, but there's always the hope. At least you have hope. At least you have hope.
Okay. There we go. I don't know why you just zoomed down for me. Okay. Let's move on here to, don't keep everybody waiting too long. This was Money Mitch. So next is Bert. Is Golden droppable?
You know, I hate to say it, but I think so. I did drop him in a couple more shallow draft lane leagues where, you know, I needed to make roster moves. I just needed to pick other guys up. I'm not going to drop Golden for, you know, like Jamiri DK, although maybe I'll regret that. Or like, you know, these kind of like real dice roll guys. But yeah, it did not look good for Golden last week with Watson back. So if there's somebody good on the waiver wire, yeah, I think you can drop him, sadly.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to put it. He's not a must hold. If there's someone good enough, you can drop him. He's not going to be completely worthless the rest of the season, but I mean, you definitely don't feel good starting him. Speaking of, what about Bill? Traded him and Fannin for Bowers. I mean, assuming Bowers ever plays, should be good.
I mean, this has to be a win. I mean, Corey Krosky Merritt, what happened here, man? Like, everybody thought they had a league winner, and instead he's been losing your matchups every week. It's been the opposite. And look, I like Fannin Jr., but come on, over Bowers? No way. Yeah, this has got to be a win. It's got to be a win.
Definitely worth it. Yeah, definitely worth it. Speaking of doing nothing, Bob's not loving week 8. Bijan, Baker, Igbuka, and even Dalton Schultz on National Tight End Day. Yep.
Dalton Schultz, man, that was the biggest bust. Well, him and Darnell Mooney, the biggest bust of the week. Like, how Dalton Schultz? Oh, it felt as bad as it felt having to drop Cam Scatterby off a bunch of my leagues. It felt so good dropping Dalton Schultz on the leagues where, like, I was like desperate at tight end, and I picked him up to play him, and I'm like, get off my team. Get off my team.
Yeah. What do we call that? There's the rage drop. You're like, but then there's like like you said, the relief. You're just like, all right, that feels good. It's like the well, we had a term for it. I feel like at one point we did.
We had a term for all the drops for a while there. We should have saved them.
We need to coin all these things. All right, but anyways, what about Painless? Would you trade Jacobs for Caleb and Odunze? It's a super flex league. Okay, I'm glad you mentioned that.
Oh, if it's super flex, then 100%.
Yeah,
100%. This is a smash in super flex. I mean, I think even in non-super flex, it's fair because I mean, even if like Jacobs Odunze, that feels pretty fair to me. Like, I probably prefer Jacobs, but it's not like, I don't know if I smash prefer Jacobs. But you're getting Caleb thrown in too in a super flex? Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's. I was at first, I'm like, I mean, Odunze is good. I like Odunze, but Caleb, I'm like, nah, I want Jacobs, but in super flex, yeah, Caleb for sure. Okay, Matthew Rodriguez. Which TD Vulture do you prefer, Kareem Hunt or Bam Knight?
I don't know. That's tough because I both feel like they have short-term value. We don't know how long Pacheco's out, but we also don't know exactly when Trey Benson will be back. He's eligible to return next week. Doesn't mean he will, but that's when he's eligible. This week, I definitely would prefer Bam Knight. So if you need these guys this week, I would go with Bam. Yeah, I might just go with Bam anyways here.
Yeah, it's Bam. Close. The lead back, at least for one more week. And I say Vulture because after that, he'll probably just be relegated to Vulture status. But yeah, one more week, you can start Bam. All right, well, now we have JV3. I think JVille. Is it J? I don't know. I can't see. JV something, 817. Sorry. Have Kraft, Ferguson, and Kittle in an 8-man league. That's way too many tight ends. Trying to get Kyron and Zay. Who would you trade? Which of those tight ends?
Well, I don't know if any of these tight ends is going to get you Kyron and Zay, but if one of them is going to get you Kyron and Zay, which again I don't know if they will, it's probably going to be Kittle or Kraft. Kittle with the name value, Kraft coming off a monster game. But again, I don't think that, like, you're probably going to have to throw in another player too, like Kittle plus a running back or a wide receiver. I don't think like Kittle or Kraft alone is going to get you both those guys, but I mean, you never know. You never know. People do crazy stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you're saying separately, like I'll offer one of the tight ends to get Kyron, one of the tight ends for Flowers. Yeah, I don't know if anybody's trading Kyron for a tight end. But again, if they need a tight end, maybe they would. I guess you'll find out. But look, the one that you'd probably want to trade away first would be Ferguson because his value has dropped with CD back. But I don't know if he's still got. Do you think? I mean, he still does have some trade value, I would assume, right? He's been pretty good all season.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's got more value than like Ferguson or Kraft right now. But I mean, Kittle or Kraft, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'll find out. Juice just wants to make sure that you know he's boosting Jamar Chase against you in one league and CMC in another one. So good luck with that.
Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, I haven't looked at. I don't ever even look at the matchups, so we'll see. That doesn't feel good though.
This feels good for somebody. I'm back and I'm him is back and gifting memberships left and right again. Someone else got the membership.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I know who it was. Let's see. Kiyozoku Oni needs 2 between Sharps, K9 Spears, and Harvey.
I think I'm going Spears and Sharps. Charbonnet. Spears. I know I have Walker really over there. Who is it? Who's the fourth one? Walker, Spears, Sharps, Harvey. Yeah, I'm going Spears and Charbonnet. I mean, I just think I think between K9 and Charbonnet, we gotta prefer Charbonnet. I mean, look, K9 could always rip off like a 20, 30-yard touchdown, but if he doesn't, what are we getting? And I mean, can Harvey really keep scoring at this clip? 4 touchdowns on his last 13 touches. Like, even Kareem Hunt is impressed by RJ Harvey's ability to score touchdowns right now.
He's jealous.
Yes, jealous.
Yeah, not ideal here. Not ideal. I don't want to have to start either Seahawks running back. Obviously, you've got to. Yeah, Harvey not only can't sustain it, he's got the worst matchup here, right, with the Texans. Spears, is he going to get enough touches? I don't know. Maybe just go both Seahawks. Akshay Devakar. Drop Pacheco and Alec Pierce to pick up Tyron Tracy and was that going to be Chimera DK or is that a Chicago Bears team?
I don't know, but I'm okay with either. Like, you don't really need Pacheco or Alec Pierce, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, Tracy definitely more value than Pacheco now. If it's DK, that's fine. All right, Vinny, what's up? Love or Mr. Prescott?
I think you got to go Prescott.
Yeah, I like Prescott. And Gadsden paying off. Very nice. Keep it going. Chris Oldivar. Hampton, Kamara for JCM and Devonta Smith.
I'll do this just to get Devonta Smith, honestly. Because Kamara, like, oh, come on. Yeah, no thanks. Hampton, again, very worried here about when is he going to be back and then what kind of role is he going to walk into. I'm going to do this just to get Devonta Smith, honestly.
I think that's fair. Don't have a whole lot of hope for Bill anymore, but he could still do something. But again, Hampton, who knows when he's coming back. All right, what about Bob now? Can you drop Dalton Schultz for Spears? Drop Dalton Schultz just for the pleasure of it?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can drop Dalton Schultz just because. You don't even have to pick somebody up. You can just drop them. It feels better that way, honestly. Trust me. It feels better just to drop them than like to put in a claim with him being no. Because what if you don't get the claim and he's still on your roster when you wake up tomorrow? That's going to feel terrible. Just drop him.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, I'd drop him. Yeah, drop him. Just they're not like, oh, I needed somebody. No, I dropped you just because I could. Exactly. And for a 6-pack, not Diet Pepsi. That's not my deal, but different one. All right, Elijah Ledesma being offered Juwan Jennings for Kenneth Walker.
Oh boy, I don't even know if I have a. I mean, I think I probably. I guess I gotta prefer Kenneth Walker. I guess.
I mean, I prefer neither, but
Yeah, exactly.
I don't look. Really, Ricky Pearsall will probably come back at some point. Supposedly this week, starting tomorrow, he's going to test, right, and see how it is. Even if he doesn't play this week, he'll come back at some point. Kittle is back. Jennings is obviously not right. I at least I get something from running back position. The fact he's running back makes him a little more valuable. And I would prefer Walker, but either. Zachary Mudd, Ted McMillan, or Michael Pittman.
I think it's got to be Pittman this week against the Steelers. I have Pittman as almost a strong start this week.
Yeah, I think I did have him as a strong start. I'll go back and check, but yeah, I like Pittman a lot this week. And we just still don't know. It could be Andy Dalton again. Although Andy Dalton wasn't bad for Ted last week, he was good for him, but it's probably more the matchup. Ben Howerton, should I drop Jameson? Sure. Pick up what running back on waivers? I mean, Tracy's your first choice. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Is that Jordan Mason? I thought I said Jameson.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I read it quick.
I mean, Jordan Mason's tough for me. But like if Tyron Tracy is out there and he's your best drop, I would take Tyron Tracy over Jordan Mason. I don't know if I'm dropping Jordan Mason for, say, like Kareem Hunt or Bam Knight, or Samaje Perine, guys like that. But like if Tracy's out there, yeah, I'll drop Mason. I'd rather just have Tracy in that Giants offense catching passes than whatever Mason's going to give me with Aaron Jones back.
Yeah, and it's hard to say who else might be on waivers for you in your league, but again, not somebody who's just a handcuffs, just happen to have a decent week because he scored a touchdown. But yeah, Mason is not an absolute must hold, which leads to Ryan's question: do I drop Mason or Rachaad White for Tracy? This is an 8-team league.
Yeah, I'd probably just drop Mason here. Honestly,
Yeah.
like, do you need Mason in an 8-team league? I don't think so. Like, because what if Bucky doesn't come back next week? You're gonna be glad you still have Rachaad White. I don't know if you're gonna be glad you have Mason next week. So I think you can just drop Mason in an 8-teamer.
Yeah, and he's saying we have to drop these names. Yeah, understood. It's in an 8-team league. These guys aren't must holds. Ninja Fitness saying what's up. Glad to see you in the chat.
What's up?
And always glad to see Band's dog.
What do you call him? Go back to him.
Ninja
Fitness.
Oh, it's Ninja Finesse.
Ninja finessing like a ninja.
100. I'm reading too fast.
Figure out, is that like I can't figure out what that. Oh, it's like an anime thing.
Okay. All right.
Ninja Finesse. All right, close enough. Man's dog.
Ninja Fitness. It's like
that's somebody right.
Somebody needs to invent that. Somebody needs to invent that. Remember, like Tybo and like who was the guy that would like scream at you in your TV? What was his name? You know what I mean? All the different fitness things. Like somebody needs Ninja Fitness where it's like,
which one?
Okay, you're gonna squat on the armrest of your couch and then you're gonna jump down quietly under the ground. Right? It's like you do that 10 times. 10 times.
Well, for some reason, I know the Tybo guy was Billy Blanks. I don't know which guy yelled at you. Look, this is getting way off track here. Ninja, speaking of Ninja, I just ordered my Snake Eyes shirt. G.I. Joe? You remember G.I. Joe, nice. Right? Gonna debut it next week. Snake Eyes.
Nice.
All right. Be ready. Everyone be ready. Okay, Band's dog wants to know Etienne or Bam.
I'm still not Richardson. I've got Etienne over Bam Knight still this week.
Etienne, the Jags in general, probably the team I'm going to be evaluating the closest in the snaps and usage, right? Travis Hunter, we're all talking about. But what about the backfield? Does Tootin get more involved? He might, but also is Etienne going to be any good? So I'm skeptical, but I still think I put Etienne overnight, like you said.
And Blue Romeo came through clutch. Sean T was the guy. Remember with like insanity.
Oh, I don't remember that one. The insanity workout. I know it's.
Yeah, you're like, yell, come on, you guys gotta come on.
Need that for fantasy, right? Someone, while you're making a waiver pickups, like, you can do it. Come on, don't be weak.
Come on, drop that bum. It's a bum. Forget the
Get
name.
Schultz out of there.
Schultz out of there.
95. Good evening. Bringing some calm back to the chat. Rest of season, Knicks and Goff. Would you keep those two or drop one for Purdy or Flacco?
I don't know. I think you're fine with Knicks and Goff. I mean, look, if Purdy and Flacco are out there in a 14-teamer, that's not too bad, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you're saying QBs have been hoarded. We got 2 starting QBs out there, but no, Knicks and Goff are fine. Let's go to Barry McCockner. Drop Aaron Jones for Tracy?
Yeah, I would do this.
Yeah, if you can drop Mason, Aaron Jones not much higher. He catches passes, but still limited upside. What's up, Phil? All right, how do you feel about this? 2 different leagues. Someone dropped JD and someone dropped Breece Hall. Okay, look, I even understand Jaden Daniels didn't play, right? I get that. So Breece Hall just did what to make someone drop?
Not only did he run for a ton of yards, catch some yards, score a touchdown, he threw the game-winning touchdown pass. So you even got 4. You got 4 points for a passing touchdown, and you got some passing yards. But he's not playing this week, so get this bum off my team. Get him off my team. He's not playing. I'm not sure what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean here, though, Phil, when you say, should I trade? Oh, so like someone dropped him, you picked him up, and now you want to trade him away? Look, don't you have Lamar Jackson? If you have Lamar Jackson, trade away Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, doesn't he, right? He has Lamar in like every league, I think.
Yeah. Trade away Jaden Daniels. And look,
Sure.
If Breece Hall is now your running back 4 because you just got him off waivers, trade him away. Why not?
Well, it's Tuesday. It's waiver wire day for most leagues. So here's a good time for the weekly reminder. Always check to see not only who, has been on waivers that you could add, but who gets dropped after waivers or even before waivers. Every team is on bye. For some reason, people decide that they become worthless. The Eagles are on bye. So, if someone's like, I'm done with Jalen Hurts, he's not going to help me this week, maybe pick him up. Emeka Egbuka, guys like that. Quishon Judkins, hurt and on bye. Forget it. Worthless. So, take a look. You guys know better. Please tell me you know better. You're not dropping players like this. All right. Fly as Kane wants some help determining RB value. So, for example, he says he feels higher Aaron Jones than the consensus, even though he's RB1. Well, he's not really the RB1, right? I mean, is he even the 1A or the 1B, or is it just, it's pretty 50-50 in terms of opportunities?
Yeah. But this is a good question, like determining true running back value. You really can't. Because this is what makes, I always talk about this. Like, imagine a world where everybody who played fantasy football felt the exact same about every player. It wouldn't work, right? Fantasy football would not work. It would not work.
True.
it's like you need people to feel different about players, right? You need the disagreement. You need some people to be like, I think this guy's going to be great, and somebody else say, he's terrible, right? And then you need everything in between. So the really only way, I mean, obviously we have a good idea. Like, we know Aaron Jones is not worth Jonathan Taylor. There's obvious things like that, but really it just comes down to more like, yeah, if you're higher on Aaron Jones than consensus, then he's probably a guy you should go trade for, because you can probably get him at a price that to you is fair or too low. Like someone out there might think Rico Dowdle now is a top 10 running back, because did you see what he did in the 2 games without Chuba Hubbard? And now they're saying he's going to be the RB1. Like, he's a top 10 run. You know what I mean? So there's no real way for determining that, but that's a good thing, because that's what makes fantasy football work.
And that's what makes it fun. I'll just say this. It's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you both need to be kind of, as much as you can, like in tune with the consensus, so that how is this player mostly valued, so that you're not buying high and you're not selling low. But you need to find, if you're making a trade, find that guy who is different on the other side, right? The guy who maybe is too low on a good player. That's how you win trades. All right, Michael Marowitz. 2 running backs, 1 receiver, 1 flex. Here is the squad. We need 4. You got to start Jacobs.
You got to start Jacobs. I think Rico has to be your RB2 now. Call me crazy. I got Wandale over Sutton this week. 49ers, I've talked about it on a couple of videos now. I talk about it on the wide receiver video tomorrow. Over the season, they're allowing the second most points to slot wide receivers. But over the last 3 games where they basically have not had Fred Warner, who is pretty much easily the best cover linebacker in the league, right? They're allowing the most points to slot wide receivers over the last 3 weeks, and it's not even close. Even last week, Jalen Noel had a nice game out of the slot, or Noel, however you pronounce it. Jaden Higgins' touchdown catch, he was lined up in the slot in that game. Which is kind of frustrating, because it's like, that's where Noel's supposed to be. Why wasn't he lined up in the slot on that play? But anyways, they've just been getting decimated out of the slot. So I like Wandale this week, and it's a tough matchup for Sutton on the road against the Texans. They play a ton of zone. All that being said, though, I might still flex him over Ted after I just Terry. Okay, so I still have Sutton over Ted. So I'm still going to play Sutton after all that. So I'm going to go Jacobs, Rico, Wandale, Sutton.
All right. Yeah, that's fine. Those guys are pretty close. All right. Now you have the dilemma. You got 2 good tight ends. You got Ferguson, who's been great, but trending a little bit down, and then Gadsden, who continues to trend up.
I'm starting Gadsden. I just have to. I can't do it. I cannot put this guy on my bench. I cannot do it. Look, is he going to bust at some point? Of course. He's not going to go for 100+ yards every game and end the season, I think, with like 1,500 yards or whatever. But I have to put him in my lineup until it happens. And it's on the road. It's against the Titans. They play a ton of zone. He's been great against zone this year. I have to take a chance with Gadsden. I have to. I can't. I would kick myself if Gadsden goes off again this week on my bench.
Yeah, then you definitely should say, I should have known, right? I knew better. It wasn't 1 game, not even 2 games, 3 straight games. He's been one of the top tight ends. You've got to find out. I would just say this is a perfect situation to trade one of those tight ends. Probably Ferguson still has the trade value, but you trade him now. The CD is back. You've seen he's going the other way. So as long as you're comfortable with Gadsden the rest of the season and the volatility, yeah, I think you should trade one of them. Probably to improve your RB depth, to be honest. And then he said JMO or Jennings or Booty.
Booty. Actually, I think I have Jennings a little ahead of Booty. Let me see. Booty. Yeah, I do. I don't mind Jennings this week. I still I have my doubts that Pearsall is going to play or be even close to 100%. He's been getting a very good target share. I know it hasn't resulted in much. I know he's kind of dropped some passes where it's like last year he caught all those passes. But against the Giants this week, I'm going to go with Jennings.
I figure you wouldn't go JMO. Yeah, I guess I'll reluctantly say Jennings here. Elijah, so, we didn't discuss this on the breaking news at the top of the show, but Tyler Lockett has a new home. Did you see this? Tyler Lockett is a Raider.
Yep.
I mean, this guarantees Jacoby gets traded now, right? How much does that affect Jacoby Myers?
I mean, I don't care. I don't even care if Pete Carroll came out and said, we're running the offense through Tyler Lockett. Who cares? Legitimately, has there been a worse quarterback this year than Geno Smith? I think not. I don't think there has been. Like, this is why I'm talking about like Ashton Genty. Like, how can he thrive in this offense? And like, who's waiting in the wings? Kenny Pickett. Yeah, this is gonna be another one of my biggest misses of the year. I really thought Geno Smith, Pete Carroll, the Raiders, like he was gonna transform this passing game. And he's acting like, can we get Aiden O'Connell back? Like, really, can we please get Aiden O'Connell back? I would take Aiden O'Connell at this point.
At least he could throw the ball down the field and not get intercepted every other play. No, I mean, you're right. It's pretty brutal. Does it affect Jacoby Myers? No, because it doesn't really matter at this point.
Exactly.
But worth noting, just for fun, Tyler Lockett's a Raider. Okay, how about Adrian Mendez? Would you trade Sutton for Jalen Warren?
I don't think so. I know. I put Jalen Warren on the buy low. I like Jalen Warren. I don't know though. I think I still gotta prefer Sutton. I mean, I guess if you're like desperate at running back, maybe. But I think I still prefer Sutton.
I got to be more desperate than this. No, like, not the worst, but still. Not going to be a good week to even start Jalen Warren. Nah, you can do better. You should be able to do better, right? For Sutton, I think you can get a little bit better running back. All right, then we got the super chat from Yitz Bucks. Thank you. Trade away Pickens, JMO, QJ, and Rashad White for Nico Tracy and Harrison.
I think you got to do this. I mean, Pickens, Nico, you can convince me that might be equal, but you can't convince me that Pickens will be significantly better than Nico. Right. Jameson, QJ, and Rashad White. And you're getting now the Giants RB1 and Harrison. You got to take the Nico side. You have to.
In this, you're saying you're 2-6. You need to do something to shake it up. I don't know how deep this league is. If this is like a 12-team league, like JMO and QJ are even droppable at this point, So sure, absolutely. Rashad White's not even playing this week. Yeah, you got to do this. All right, and how about Cody Arnold? Would you trade DK for BTJ?
Ooh. This is tough. This is like do you want the guy who is going to be like probably going to be good most weeks, but rarely going to be great, but probably also rarely going to kill you? I'm talking about DK Metcalf, right? Like,
right.
He's going to get what he gets. He's going to get like his 4 to 5 catches, 60 to 80 yards, and he can always score a touchdown. But he's probably never going to get you like 10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 touchdowns in that offense. Or do you want the guy who maybe will be one of the biggest busts in fantasy this year, but could be great? Oh, man.
This almost comes down to preference. I mean, do you need on your team upside? Do you want the thrill of the ride with BTJ, or you just want that like
Like, you want
solid
It's
consistency?
like, do you want to go on the nice slow boat ride where you can see all the cool stuff around you, or do you want to get on that high speed thrill ride where you're like, you might throw your lunch up? What do you want?
Well, that's an easy one. Give me the thrill ride. I'm taking BTJ.
I think honestly, what this would come down to for me is my team. Like, if I already have some really good wide receivers, like Metcalf's my wide receiver 4. I already have 3 really good wide receivers that I feel great about. You know, like maybe I have a Chase. You know, maybe I drafted Romo Dunze in like round 6. Maybe I have like a Pittman or, somebody like that, somebody even better, where I feel really good about my 3 wide receivers. Yeah, I'd probably just take a chance on BTJ. But if Metcalf's like my second best wide receiver, and behind Metcalf, it's like, QJ, guys, DJ Moore, guys like Jawan Jennings are the guys I have behind Metcalf. I probably just stick with Metcalf.
There you go. Roman got another interesting trade question. No minor deals today. Garrett Wilson and Derrick Henry for Judkins, McMillan, and BTJ.
I mean, here I'm just easily taking Wilson and Henry, like no hesitation. Like, if this hits my inbox, I'm hitting accept. I don't care what my team is. I don't care nothing. Give me Garrett Wilson. Give me Derrick Henry. Easy.
Right. So hopefully you're getting the first side. If so, do it. I think there might be someone lower than us on the Raiders. Conkey, not even the Son of God can save the Raiders at QB. Man.
I mean, you know what? The Raiders might just be like cursed, right? Because how did Geno go? Like, Geno was good for 4 straight years in Seattle. How did he go from that to this?
The last year he wasn't that great. I mean, there's a reason Seattle let him go. They're like, oh, this is our guy. 1 year in that offense, and he did take a step back. So, I mean, he's playing much worse than anybody thought, but still.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have known to trust Pete Carroll pass offense. What about Nate Deasy? Could you do this? Thinking about trading Rachaad White for Travis Hunter. I would take Hunter.
Yeah, I do this. Again, Rachaad White's value is coming to an end. It may not be next week, but it may be next week. Give me Travis Hunter here, definitely.
All right. Now, this is a follow-up, so I'll go back to the original. Remember, Yitzbucks says, or Christian Watson instead of JMO, and so to trade away Watson instead of JMO, it doesn't make a big difference. I think you still do it.
Yeah, either one. That doesn't really move the needle for me.
Would you rather probably rather get rid of JMO?
I honestly don't even know.
All right. I think just leave it as is. All right, Nick, 12-teamer. Achan is the one. RB2 has been tricky. Got Bam, Mason, Brashard Smith, RJ Harvey. Yeah, so you're like mixing and matching. Put in a claim for Manungai or Hunt.
I'm sure you can put in a claim for those guys if you really want to, but I'm okay just rolling with Achan and Bam Knight this week. I think Bam Knight as the RB2 is totally fine this week.
Yeah, Bam's getting the touches. He scored 2 touchdowns in 3 games where he's played. I can't say started because he didn't really start the first game. Remember when Michael Carter was a starter? Brashard Smith is kind of interesting because Pacheco probably will miss, but at the same time, it's like Kareem Hunt's going to probably get more touches. So I would just go Bam. What about this one? Pretty straightforward. Imanol Garcia, Rico, or Bill?
It's gotta be Rico. I mean, Bill, like this is shocking to me. Like, the Bill thing is kind of shocking to me, right? Because he like, I know he didn't have like big fantasy games most of the year, but you look at it, on the touches he was getting, he looked so good. And then there was that one game. Right. There's that one game where they finally said, like, okay, we're going to commit to you. And he came through huge, had a great game, 2 touchdowns, looked great. And you're like, okay, this is it. And it's not like, this isn't like the Woody Marks situation where like the next week they went back to giving Chris Rodriguez more touches. No, they have committed to Bill and he has somehow gotten worse. Like,
exactly
what happened?
That's exactly right. Like the efficiency numbers were there. Like he just needs a shot and he got his shot. Like, here you go. You're the guy. And then he just like fell on his face. It's like, I don't know
what happened.
Who knows? We'll see if it changes. But until then, you got to go Rico. Amaya Macha trade Nico and Walker for Vidal, DK, and Flacco. I have Judkins, Hampton, Dowdle, Bam, CD, Rice, Wandell, Ferguson, Finn, and Daniel Jones. Oh, it's a super flex? Well, if it's super flex, that makes Flacco a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if Daniel Jones is your... I was going to say no to this because I feel like Nico's still the best player here. Like Vidal, I don't know. But if Daniel Jones is your only QB in a super flex, yeah, I think you have to take this. I mean, Flacco gives you a pretty much an every week QB2 with upside. Vidal, Walker, I don't even know if I might even prefer Vidal, sadly. I still prefer Nico to Metcalf, but it's fine. I think in Superflex, you got to take the Flacco side. If really like you're listening here, Daniel Jones is your only QB, you got to take the Flacco side.
Yeah, and looking at your rosters, this makes even more sense because you've got Hampton, you get Vidal. That solves your issue. You know you got that starting running back even when if Hampton does come back soon. And you need a running back because you need some wins. Yeah, I like this deal for you. All right, what about Rusty? Is Kyler worth a stream if JD is out? I guess the Cowboys.
Yeah, Kyler's definitely streamable this week. Against Cowboys, definitely streamable.
All right,
not
now
my
Bob,
favorite, but yeah.
Yes, Bijan's still haunting you from last week. That's what happens when Vegas gets involved. But anyways, who do I flex this week? I'm not going to let it go. I believe everything I read on social media. K9 or Rico?
I put $5 on Bijan for the first time all season. Of course, Vegas called it in.
Yep.
Of course they called it. I love that stuff when I see that. Like, because I'll just go on there and search like Bijan Robinson, not Bijan Robinson bets, just to search, like to be like, is he hurt or something? And what do I see? Oh, first time all year I do a parlay with Bijan, and of course this happens. I'm like, do you think Vegas cares about your $5, $10, even your $20 parlay? Really? You think that's what Vegas cares about? Your $20 parlay?
They care immensely.
Like, oh, this guy just put $2 on Bijan. Make sure Bijan busts this week. K9 or Dowdle, you got to go Dowdle. Kincaid or Gadsden, you got to go Gadsden there. And definitely pick up Benson and put him on IR if you can. Yes, definitely.
Good. All green lights there, Bob. You're good. All right, I've seen this a few times. I do want to answer it. Dan DeBoyle, Zay or Terry. Now, again, assuming Terry is actually healthy and good to go.
I just give me Zay Flowers, even if Terry plays. It's not a great spot for. I mean, we'll see. I will say, I talked about this on my receiver video a little bit. The Seattle secondary was decimated going into the bye. We'll have to see how healthy they are coming out of the bye here when they start practicing. But I mean, Flowers against the Dolphins with Lamar back, I'm just going to go Flowers either way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm going Flowers either way. Rusty now in another league. Would you drop Pearsall for Harrison?
You have to do this. Yeah, you have to do this.
Apparently, someone didn't feel like holding Martin Harrison during the bye week. All right. You know what? This is an interesting question, even though I probably hate it because it's about defense. But Nate Easy. So with Surtain out and out several weeks, are the Broncos still the top defense?
Well, I think, I don't know if they're the top defense anymore, but they're still up there. I mean, look, it's not just Surtain.
Right.
They have probably, and I mean, I almost want to say definitely, but almost certainly the best pass rush in the NFL.
Right.
Like, it's not just that Surtain shuts down the opposing wide receiver. It's that the QB is under pressure the entire game, right? The QB is just getting pressured and like, yeah, so not having Surtain hurts, but they still have Nick Bonito and one of the best, fronts in all of football. They're still going to get a ton of pressure. Yeah, I still think they still got to be a top 5 defense at worst, even without Surtain.
Exactly. I mean, obviously it hurts, but they're still definitely one of the top defenses. Okay, Arav, Aji, drop 1. Pollard, don't try it. After Pollard?
Yeah, I'm just going to drop Pollard.
No, you're supposed to try that. You're supposed to try our newfound pronunciation of Kyle.
Oh, Manungai. I got this.
Manungai. Nailed it. You dropping Pollard?
I'm dropping Pollard for Tracy. My order would be I would drop Pollard for Tracy, Spears, Bam would be my order. And then if you got Fannin and you see I've Goddard and Kittle, yeah, you can drop Fannin and pick up one of those other running backs as well. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never starting Fannin with those 2 tight ends.
No.
Let's see. Okay, we already did that one. NTY, thank you as always. All right, it's a full PPR. Monty or Tracy?
That's a good one. I have Tracy slightly ahead of Monty based on the fact that he should get the bulk of the touches. He does catch passes. It's a good spot for Monty this week. I know it's been a weird season for Monty, right? He's had like a couple of really good games and a lot of not so good games. I feel like this could be a good game for Monty, but I still have to favor Tracy.
I think, again, I was a little surprised when Over starts it, and I think this week you're actually higher than me on Tracy, which, in the preseason was flipped, right? I was higher on Tracy, you were more Scattaboo, which you turned out to be right. Maybe I'm just lower in general on the Giants offense. Maybe that's what it is. I'm going to go Monty here. It's a more safer pick, and then we'll see. If Tracy, looks like I hope he would look like, then you can start him probably with confidence going forward. All right, tight end. Well, I know you don't want to start Schultz. Do you want to start any of these other tight ends?
Probably Ingram would be my pick here. Juwan's been quietly good. I talked about it on the QB tight end video. He's got like 10 catches, 130 yards over the last 2 games, but now it's Tyler Shuck. Yeah, I'll probably just go Ingram here.
I was going to say, now he gets Tyler Shuck. So maybe better. Maybe not.
Maybe better. Maybe.
NTY also Flacco or Stafford?
Stafford.
Yeah. I think give the edge to Stafford based on matchup. Cali Kid now needs 2 and 1 flex. Jamar Pickens, London. Bunch of other guys. Okay, I think your 2 receivers in your flex are those first 3, assuming London plays. What about running back, though?
Etienne Knight. I think you got to go Chase Brown Vidal at running back. And then, yeah, those 3 wide receivers with Chase Brown and Vidal.
All right, and then let's go to Alexander's channel. Traded Pickens for Garrett Wilson.
I think I talk about this exactly on the buy low video. How I would trade. I think that remind me if I said this, Alexander. I can't remember. I mean, I guess I can look. I have my notes right here. Did I say this? I did. I said I would trade Pickens straight up for Garrett Wilson. Look, Pickens has been good with CD back, but has not been as good as when CD was out, and he probably won't be as good as he was when CD was out. Garrett Wilson's still the number 1 guy here. Like, clearing away the number 1 guy in this offense. Yeah, it's, he's going to have some weeks where the offense is horrible, but most weeks I think Wilson's going to be good. I'm taking Wilson.
Right. Not going to help this week, but going forward, I think I would prefer Wilson as well. Sorry, we're just catching up to the other part of the chat, the Sean T. You did not mention Richard Simmons.
I mean, I don't know if he yelled at you.
He did not.
He was too nice.
He was way too nice. Cody Greenwood, would you drop Travion Henderson and Chuba Hubbard or Tyrone Tracy? Or okay, so 2 different leagues. Those are close.
Yeah, I can definitely drop Chuba for him. I don't know if I mean, I could drop Henderson for him, but if I have a choice, I'd prefer to hold Henderson.
Yeah, Chuba, I think we had already said earlier, you can drop Chuba for him. Henderson is closer. Depends how shallow the league is, I think. Ross, now, what about Bill? Drop in Bill?
Oh, man. I don't have anybody else you can drop. I mean, look, if you have to, I would do it. I mean, what's the hope for Bill at this point? Like, we know, we've seen Tracy be the guy. We know Tracy can be serviceable as a guy. We got to feel at least a little bit better about the Giants offense with Jackson Dart. Like, they've got some life, at least. I think between the two, I do prefer Tracy. I don't really want to drop Bill, but if I'm going to get Tracy, I guess it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to drop Bill. I mean, the only thing I can say to partially excuse that JD has been out, Terry McLaurin has been out, might still be out, Debo's been out. There's so many injuries there. They haven't really had their whole offense together. And so maybe, and of course he's a rookie, like maybe he puts it together. There's still hope, and that's the most important thing. But if you need somebody that's startable right here, right now, you probably should prefer Tracy. Yeah. All right, Money Mitch again. Would you trade Addison for one of the Warrens? Not for Jalen Warren. I don't think I would.
I think I'm obviously higher on Jalen Warren than you are. I think this is I like both these guys, honestly. I had them both as buy lows. So to me, I think if you need running back help and Addison's like your wide receiver 5, which he might be, right? Because remember, Addison was going like 7th or 8th round in drafts because he was suspended. Like if Addison, if you're not even starting Addison and you need running back help, I think it's fine. But I'm also okay holding Addison. I do like Addison. But look, also there is concern. We have not seen Addison with JJ McCarthy yet. We don't know.
It's true.
Right? Is at least one thing with Wentz, like he'll just chuck it. Whatever, right? Which is good for Addison. So I'm okay with this.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm never crazy about Jalen Warren, limited upside. I have been the one, though, who's been probably the most skeptical of JJ McCarthy. And let me see it first. But let me see it. Let's see what it looks like this week. Addison has been solid regardless of quarterback. So if it's Jalen Warren, I would hold him unless you're desperate for RB. If it's Tyler Warren, the tight end, just take Tyler Warren.
Oh, yeah.
Todd in 4K traded Jacoby and Ertz for Kamara. No, it's fine.
I can't say you cooked, but I guess you won. I mean, it's hard to say getting Kamara is cooking.
Right.
I mean,
right.
what are we cooking here? Like vegetable oil? Cooking with vegetable oil, canola oil. Like we're definitely not cooking with gas. That's for sure.
Not cooking with gas. No. But doesn't get better than cooking with gas. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, look, you're not going to miss probably Jacoby Myers or Zach Ertz, so it's all right. Andrea, what's up? Which QB this week? Okay, so she's got probably the best options available. Which one is the best? She says it's 6 points per touchdown.
Yeah, I don't think that. I mean, I don't think that really makes a difference here. Maybe for Kyler, but that's it. I'm gonna go Stafford still at home against the Saints.
Yeah, just exactly what you saw. Slight difference. It bumps Kyler down a little bit. He's got the best matchup, but Stafford. Yeah, let's go Stafford here. And then Chief Perp. All right. Caleb Dart or Rodgers?
I go Dart this week.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Caleb Williams, as everyone should be. RB2, Etienne, Rico, or Mason?
I have Rico just slightly below Etienne. Very close here. I mean, I'm not sold that Bayshal Tutin or LaQuint Allen are suddenly getting more work. He should still be the guy there. It's a tough matchup for Dowdle this week. It really is, for as good as he's been. I go slightly Etienne here.
I was hoping you'd say above. I think I have Rico slightly above Etienne. So this is close. And, the comments and how good Rico has been pushes me over the edge. So that's almost a coin flip. If Bowers does play, wow, okay. I mean, this is legit now. You're like, I want to find out with Gadsden. Well, what if he got Brock Bowers and he actually plays?
Yeah, I don't think I can sit Brock Bowers, even for as good as Gadsden has been. I don't think. I mean, look, you say Addison, Keenan, maybe just flex Gadsden. That way you get them both in your lineup.
Well,
although don't do that because I really do like Keenan this week. I think I would flex Keenan. I really like Keenan this week. I think this is going to be a Keenan week.
Well, let's say this. You're saying Bowers plays. I think Bowers has to play, but be a full go, like fully cleared before the weekend. Not like, well, he's trending towards playing and he's going to test it out. Like, no. Full go, full confidence, go Bowers. If not, if you have concerns, then just go Gadsden. Okay, speaking of Gadsden, Money Mitch, now, would you flex Gadsden over Wandale?
No, I still got to go Wandale here, man. But, I mean, again, I talk about how bad the 49ers have been against slot wide receivers without Fred Warner. I'm going to go Wandale over Gadsden.
Yeah, that's fine. Wandale gives you a floor, and this is a pretty good matchup. So you can do this. Trade it for Kraft. Yeah, nothing wrong with that. NTY. Sharbs, Monty, Tracy, or Hunt wants to rank these flex options.
I'm going to go Tracy 1, Monty 2, Hunt 3, Sharbs 4.
Yep, that sounds good to me. Austin, look, I know you're a little higher on Jaylen Warren, but even you have to agree. No, don't do this.
No. Keep Breece Hall. No. Keep Breece Hall. Don't trade Breece Hall for Jaylen Warren. That's too much.
What about Chief Perp? Again, he says, actually, just kidding. I have Cortland Sutton. Should I play Addison Keenan over Sutton this week?
I like Keenan this week. I think it's a sneaky good. I don't know if you could call it sneaky good spot for Keenan, but he plays on the outside over 60% of the time. They don't have L'Jarius Sneed. They're allowing the 8th most points to outside wide receivers. Although I will say they just traded away their slot corner Roger McCreary, so that's going to help Ladd and Gadsden because those guys play out of the slot a lot. But Keenan's been really good against zone this year, and the Titans play a ton of zone. That's my worry with Ladd is he's like really a good man beater, but not great against zone. It's kind of fun. Man beater. That sounds funny. But he's really good against man coverage. Not great against zone, and the Titans play zone like almost 80% of the time. So I kind of like Keenan this week. And I don't like Sutton this week because, again, the Texans play a ton of zone too, and he's another man beater. So I'll go Keenan over Sutton.
It's a dirty team. Well, that's the thing is like you said, Sutton's got a brutal matchup, right? That Texans defense. Yeah, I'd be concerned about Sutton. So, yeah, go Keenan. And then also Chief Perp. Different league, though. Vidal or Etienne?
Vidal. Good matchup for Vidal this week.
Yep. Cali Kid now. Is Myers droppable? Yes. Who, though? Jennings, Moore, Ridley, Malik Washington, Troy Franklin.
I mean, I don't even know. Is he droppable for any of these guys? I guess Jennings.
I guess. Again, don't expect Torrey Franklin to do much this week. Yeah, these are all kind of just like flex options at this point. Dudes, it's Hambone. What's up? Tracy or Marks?
Tracy. Definitely Tracy.
What about Tim? Can you drop Chubb for Tracy?
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
Yes. All right, it's a good one. RJ. Assuming Nico plays, Nico or Zay?
I'm gonna go Zay Flowers. I'm not, completely out on Nico here, and it does help that Surtain is out, but at the same time, Zay's getting Lamar back. It's the Dolphins. How good has Nico even been? I'm just gonna go Zay Flowers.
Yeah, he hasn't. I'm fine with that too. It's the Dolphins. And then let's get to. Wow, okay. We love dynasty questions. It's been a while. Mr. Cross Examiner is back. How about this? Would you trade Brock Bowers for Dalton Kincaid and a top 6 pick in Dynasty?
I don't think so.
Too valuable.
Like a top 6 pick. Like, okay, when you say top 6 pick, what do you mean? Like pick 6 or like pick 2?
That's the difference.
Yeah, if it's like, oh, it'll be in like the 6, 7, 8 range, or like it'll be like pick 5 or 6. I don't know. I don't think so. But if it's like potentially a top 2 pick, top 3 pick, maybe.
I mean, there's
not.
a lot of things it depends on. Is it super flex or is it single QB? How deep is the league? What are your needs? Are you rebuilding? Even so, like generally speaking, Kincaid, when healthy, it's definitely startable on a weekly basis. But Brock Bowers is still a big difference, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, probably you want to hold Bowers. Admiral Habibi. Need to flex, assuming Terry plays, him or Travis Hunter?
Nah, I'm just going to go Travis Hunter. After what we saw before the bye, now coming out of the bye, you got to think he's going to be heavily involved. I'm going to go Travis Hunter.
Yep. Let's go Hunter here. And then also RB2, Monty or Chuba? I think with the news now.
Monty. Definitely Monty. Yeah.
All right. And let's see. We've got... don't miss anybody. Edward Buscarino. Half PPR. Baker's on bye. Was offered Dart for Pearsall.
I mean, like there's no QBs on waivers?
It's a 10-man league. There's got to be somebody you can get off waivers.
Yeah, I would just go look at the waivers and just pick up somebody. Like in a 10-teamer, Flacco's got to be out there, right?
I was going to say. Flacco is totally fine. Probably better than Dart this week. I think I like him better than Dart this week. Flacco's probably out there. Maybe. I mean, there's not a lot of quarterbacks I love this week that are out there in waivers, but even it's a 10-teamer. Trevor Lawrence was probably dropped during the bye. He's fine. Sam Darnold would be my next choice. Nah. You shouldn't need to trade for Jackson Dart. Let's see. Jared Travels wants to know, would you pick up Josh Downs or Kayshon Boutte?
I think Downs is probably the guy I want in that Colts offense.
Yeah, I like Downs better this week. This is crazy. Have you seen this before? Mr. Cross Examiner. You're asking about his draft pick. So I would assume when you think of the draft pick, it's based on record, right?
Yeah.
We draw for it.
Well, so you don't even know what it could be.
Right.
So it might not even be a top 6 pick.
Well, unless it's like, I mean, is this like a lottery thing where like, okay, you didn't make the playoffs, you're in the top 6, and then you just randomly decide who gets the 1, who gets the 2. That's what it sounds like, right? Kind of like a lottery thing.
Yeah, so I guess it could be anywhere from 1 to 6.
It's still a big
I mean,
difference.
it's a gamble, but the thing is, like, you already have Brock Bowers. Like let's go into let's say Bowers finishes the season fine, right? Like, okay, maybe he doesn't like go crazy rest of the season, but he's fine. He's like a top 3 tight end rest of the season. And now we go into next year's rookie draft. This is what I always say. This is how I always kind of think about it in my own head. If I took like next year's rookie class, we're gonna do our rookie draft in one of my dynasty leagues, but we're gonna take Brock Bowers and put him into the rookie pool. Like, how many guys are you actually drafting over Brock Bowers? You know what I mean? So you're taking a chance here. Like, yeah, maybe like if we think about Brock Bowers into this year's draft class, like, okay, maybe you would take would have taken Ashton Genty over him, but like, would you have taken Travis Hunter over Brock Bowers? You know, if we went back to last offseason, would you have taken like Ted McMillan? Would you have taken Omarion Hampton? Would you have taken Cam Ward? Like, I don't know, right? I don't think so. I think I would probably just take Brock Bowers. It's like, give me the young stud tight end that I can just set and forget for like the next 8 to 10 years and not have to think about it. And I'm not even a tight end guy.
Right? Yeah, and you definitely weren't like, you got to get Brock Bowers. But no, that's a good way to put it. It's exactly right. But like, here's the other thing. Like, think about this. Like, right now, you're like, okay, I know I'm getting the number 1 pick. Okay, so who are you going to get? Like, honestly, do you know right now who is the number 1 pick in Dynasty at this point of the season? Do we know for sure who it is? Like, do you know there's a generational talent? Like who you get number 1 or who would you get at number 2? And then do you know that those guys you feel better about than Brock Bowers? Yeah. All right, let's get Austin, who is not going to trade Breece Hall to get Jaylen Warren. This is a 16-team league. Breece and Barkley are on bye. Drop Rashard or Gainwell for Ollie or Singletary.
I don't know. I'm not dropping Brashard Smith with Pacheco potentially out. I mean, Gainwell is, but we've seen like this Steelers running back, like, it's a valuable running back room. And if something happens to Jaylen Warren, it's going to be Gainwell. So, like, do I feel better about Singletary if Tyron Tracy goes down? Not really. Ollie Gordon? Not really. I don't think so. I think I just hold these guys.
Yeah, I wouldn't do either of these, I don't think. I mean, I know I wouldn't drop Rashard Smith now. Yeah, I don't think so. All right, drop Io Manor for Christian Watson. You can probably do
that. I can do, yeah. I don't need Io Manor.
ASAP Wolf, welcome back. Good at birds up. All right, which birds though? I'm good at wide receiver with Pickens, Keenan, Devonta, but I wanted to drop Pollard, Golden for Franklin, Watson, DK, Shakir, and Hunter. Okay.
Yeah, you can drop them both for Shakir and Hunter. Shakir and Hunter, definitely.
Okay, look. No, never mind. Like, again, last week, okay, they were on bye, and then no one picked them up after they came back from bye. All right. Definitely. Yeah, okay, it is a lottery. That's interesting. I mean, I guess what the point is, it discourages tanking, right? That's why you do a lottery.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah. That's fine. I feel like there's still strategy, right? There's some element of strategy to tanking.
Yes.
Got to do it strategically. Tease trees. Just put this from first guy to Booty. It has both of my stars are questionable, but Puka's going to play, right?
Yeah, pretty sure Sean McVay already said Puka's playing. And Sean McVay, I trust a lot more than John Harbaugh. I'm not worried about him.
True. Nico,
will have to see, but you got to feel good. I mean, it was a concussion. Usually, it's one game and then they're back. So I think they'll both play.
Probably will play, but I wanted to throw this up also. So you got a Dunze. I mean, I think we both like a Dunze better than Nico anyways. So you want to start a Dunze, and then Nico would be your third wide receiver.
Yes.
And then for some reason, if you have to go deeper here, then I guess Booty, and then of course you can drop Tez because they're on bye. Like, that's okay. Like, it's okay to drop Tez Johnson because they're on bye.
Yeah.
Not okay to drop Garrett Wilson or Quinshon Judkins or those guys. Big difference. All right. So we're so far we're caught up on the comments here, the super chats. So we'll do a few more, but Bernardo Martinez wants to know trade Lamar for King Henry.
I mean, look, if you have another good quarterback, or if there's a decent quarterback on the waiver wire, or you can just stream, I do this. Give me King Henry.
Yep. I'm going to take Henry. I mean, not if it's a super flex league, but assuming it's not. Tim wants to know, what team do you think that Brees will be traded to?
I don't know if Brees is going to get traded. I know I don't. I'd be very surprised if he got traded, honestly.
Yeah, I don't see. I mean, it's in the NFL, most of the trade rumors don't turn out to be true. So it would be fun, but probably not going to happen. And then let's see. All right, Mr. Cross Examiner with just a straight up starts it. Hubbard, Mason, or Corum?
Ugh, man. Ugh. Oh, I have them all as risky flexes. I really want to just say Corum against the Saints and hope he scores against fourth quarter run. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the answer should be Chuba. It's not like Chuba's going to disappear.
Yeah, he's still getting some touches.
But it's such a tough matchup. I mean, Jordan Mason, I'm really worried that Jordan Mason's going to get game scripted out.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is not a these aren't great options for RB2, but this is hopefully a bye week situation. I think I'm just saying, like, who probably has the best chance to score a touchdown? I think I would go Mason. What about that?
I don't have a strong opinion here, so that's fine.
Whoa, Taco. How about this? You got Brock Bowers and Tucker Kraft somehow. You just rolling Kraft.
Nope, I'm rolling with Bowers. I know it's going to be hard to bench Kraft, but I feel like this might be a bit of a disappointing Kraft week. Panthers play a ton of zone. He has not been very good against zone this year. Much better facing those man defenses. Steelers play a ton of man. Lit them up last week. I think Kraft might be a little disappointing this week. If Bowers plays, I'm playing Bowers.
Well, compared to last week, there's no way Kraft is going to live up to that. I mean, I guess the Panthers, I'm just going Kraft. Again, Bowers hasn't played in how long? Who knows if he's 100%? Gino, I'm just taking what I get from Kraft. Elijah needs advice on where to upgrade. Got Dart, Chase Brown, JT, Nico, Worthy, Warren, Dowdle, and then the bench. Got JD. Okay. Devonta Smith is on the bench. Could use help at what RB2 it looks like.
I think he needs more help at wide receiver. I mean, Nico, Worthy, Franklin, Devonta Smith, those are your wide receivers? I mean, JT, Chase Brown and Dowdle, I think, is good enough at running back now these days. So, yeah, but I don't know what you're going to do here. Like, what are you going to do? I mean, look, you got Dart, Daniels, and Stafford. Maybe this is a good time to trade JD, assuming he plays this week. And can you go out and get? I think Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is one of the best buy lows right now. Does he have Zay Flowers? He doesn't have Zay Flowers, right? I think Zay Flowers is a great buy low right now. I like Jalen Waddle. You already have Devonta Smith, who I like. T. Higgins. Can we trade JD and get some of those type of guys?
There you go. So check the battle video if you haven't yet. Got a lot of good ideas on there. Let's see. This one is interesting. Juan Santos. Hall for Achan. Deal or no deal?
Deal if I'm getting Achan. No deal if I'm getting Hall.
Yeah, I realize Brees looked more like Brees last week. I mean, this is what we're waiting for, but you can't put him over Achan just because of that.
No, that was the Bengals. It's literally as good as it gets.
Right. Exactly. All right. Before we move on, let me just also remind everybody who hasn't already done this, wasn't here at the top of the show, or hasn't been here before. You can ask your questions anytime on Draft Lane. And so let me just show real quick. Once again, I'm going to show you how it works, because if you're watching this back, you just haven't used it yet. You can ask your questions right now. There we go. Got a few already. Some people have done it since the beginning of the stream.
Nice.
And so Yahoo Sleeper League sync, you can do start sit questions like that, or try this. If you aren't, because somebody asked earlier in the chat, I think, what if you're on like NFL.com or ESPN or one of those, you can still use Draft Lane. You just have to use the ask a question feature. They don't allow us to use the roster information. And so you just type it, but it's the same thing as you do here. So ask a question. So here's the question. Have Swift, Etienne, and Kyron in JT. After this week, should I trade Swift for Tyron Tracy or other?
After this week? Well, I don't know. I think I still have to prefer Swift to Tyrone Tracy.
Yeah, I think it's a little too far. And look, I was probably way too high on Tyrone Tracy in the preseason, and I get he's the guy there. And it's a little presumptuous to say like he's going to be like, every week starter the rest of the season. Like, it's going to be up and down. It's not like an elite offense,
Yeah.
No, still prefer Swift over Tracy. I mean, I don't know. Is any other ideas here? I mean, he's got JT, Kyron at the 2s, like Swift, Etienne. That's a pretty good running back room.
Yeah, I don't think you need to trade Swift. I mean, if I was gonna trade, like if Swift does have a big game against the Bengals, like he should, I'd rather trade him for a wide receiver, like I don't know, maybe like Sutton. If Sutton has another down game this week in a tough matchup, something like that. Not for Tyrone Tracy.
All right. That is what we said. And let's try one more. Chris, I see Chris Alduar. He was in the chat earlier. So tried it out. Use the points. All right. How about this? Oh, it's a dynasty question. PPR 3 and 5. Hurts out. Not sure who to drop so I don't take a 0, or do I take the 0 so I don't lose potential keepers? Now this gets tricky in dynasty, right?
Hurts is your only QB. Hurts is your only QB in a dynasty league.
Apparently, this is a pretty shallow bench for a dynasty league. Like in redraft, you're like, okay, you don't have to hold on to Jacoby Myers. In dynasty, though, do you still just like, or do you?
I mean, this is the entire team in a dynasty league is very shallow. I'm guessing there's a lot of good QBs. I mean, I wouldn't want to take the 0. Like, I'm guessing I can probably drop Jacoby Myers.
Well, that's the thing. So this, you did it as a start sit, so we can't see who's on waivers.
Yeah.
It says not sure who to drop. All right, well, let's do that. Because if there's someone to drop, it would be Jacoby.
Yeah.
So let's say best to have a backup QB in Dynasty anyway. So you can drop Jacoby. Whatever I was typing. Jacoby Myers to add a QB for this week. Assuming it's someone worth starting. But I will say, if this league is, the benches are this shallow and he didn't have a backup quarterback, there probably are good enough quarterbacks on waivers, right? Probably somebody.
Oh, yeah, there's got to be. Because I can't imagine in this shallow of a league, teams have like 3 or 4 quarterbacks on their roster.
Yeah, and it's not super flex, so there's no need. But yeah, you do still want to have a backup quarterback, not just for the one bye week, but quarterbacks get hurt. All right, well, that's the Draftline app. That's how it works. Just wanted to show anybody who maybe wasn't familiar. It's a free download from the App Store, from the Play Store, and free to use. Just use those free points. Use code ENDGAME to get the free points. Some of you already did it. All right, let's do a couple more here. Our man Robert got home last night. Man, very nice. That was a long trip. How long was he gone? He said like a week, 2 weeks, or
yeah.
All right. Well, glad you made it home, Robert. Lightning round ready to go tomorrow. Ready for it.
We'll be ready.
Lumina, is Waddle safer than Gadsden? It's got to be, right?
Yeah, probably.
A little hesitation there. Look, Waddle had that one bad game, of course, the one game where I thought he would go off. He's been good since Tyreek went out. I think he should be pretty safe against Baltimore's defense. He should be plenty safe. All right, Daniel Scarrett, drop Pearsall for Travis Hunter.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to drop Pearsall just to drop Pearsall. Hunter's is definitely a guy you want to pick up. Ethan Hodge wants to know Kareem Hunt or Tyjae Spears. Who do you prioritize?
I'm going to go Tyjae Spears because I think he has more long-term value. Again, the OC talking like they need to get him more touches. I think we can see Tyjae Spears become the 1A as the season goes on here. So give me Spears.
Yeah, and he looked pretty good last week. Looks a little more explosive at this point than Pollard. Elijah says it's the last question. Would Jay Daniels be a good trade for Olave?
Yeah. If you can get Olave for JD, do it.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Do it.
All right. And then let's end on an easy one. No end to tech and tips. Agree. Tet or QJ?
Tet.
Yeah. Can't go with a guy who's coming off a 0 target game. Honestly, you just can't start QJ this week until further notice. All right, guys. Well, we'll be back tomorrow. No worries. We're here almost every day to stream. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. Appreciate everybody who's new on here. Hit the like button. Everybody on here who's watching, new, old, whatever. Make sure you give us a thumbs up on the way out. And check out the Draftline app if you want to ask your questions at any time. And we'll see you all tomorrow evening.